3, 2, live.
You're now watching two old farts making noises.
I feel like I want to go to a jazz club after I have the intro every time. It's just like I'm like,
lovely music.
I know.
It's
Well, today's-
like a sleazy stripping club, isn't it? Really?
Whoa! No strip club I've ever been to is sleazy. Thank you.
No,
However, I feel like I want to
it-
just like dance.
it's a movie. It's a movie. So.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? But no, it's very cool. And happy December 2nd. This first Saturday in December of 2023. So this is.
Have I been asleep there for the last 3 or 4 days, or
You've been asleep for the last 50 years, I think. I don't know. So I can't help you. It's like, it's like
no,
Rip
this
Van
is
Winkle.
okay. So sorry.
There you
sorry
go.
to everybody
Shoom!
watching. Sorry to everybody who's watching the show. This is the magic of showbiz. So we're recording this now. And it's actually July the 3rd.
There you go.
But
Wow.
it's,
Yeah.
whatever date you want. Who cares?
And this is why tigers eat their young. Anyway, as you can tell, I have one of our baseball caps on. There you go. No snobs or knobs. Get your merch.
Oh.
Yeah, look at that, huh? Nice. There you go. And wait, look at that beautiful hair day. So I'm gonna take the cap off. So, or maybe I should put it back on.
Please put it
Anyway,
back
so
on.
there you go in our merch. You can get a baseball cap that has the logo of No Snobs or Knobs. So, or we have T-shirts and coffee mugs, and we got tons of stuff. Ugh, we got so much merch.
And we
Anyway.
got lots of stuff with Morton's art on it. Apart from, and I
Yeah.
must apologise to all our regular visitors, because I was going to. He very kindly sent me a virtual bodyguard piece of art, as only Morton can make it. But of course, I've had my head up my proverbial for the last week and a half, so I haven't had a chance to do anything with it. So.
No
All those people
problem.
are eagerly waiting for the virtual bodyguard range of products,
Yeah.
to merchandise. Soon.
Soon.
Everybody wants it for Christmas. Next
Hanukkah.
Christmas.
Right, and Hanukkah starts this coming week.
Hanukkah
starts on the
okay.
7th of December for all the landsmen out there
Do you
that don't
give
know.
gifts then?
We give a gift every day. And so if so you get little gifts, and then on the 8th day you get a really big gift. This year I think my wife wants a jet. So I think we're going to start with like a Range Rover and then just work up to the jet. And then this way, little gifts is what we give. I think it's
Little
good.
gifts, yeah.
It's very exciting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing for her.
It's a bit like a promiscuous relationship, really, isn't it? It's like you get a little gift every day, and then it builds up to the really big gift, which is lifelong membership to the Clap Clinic.
It's like luggage. You just can't get rid of it. So, there you go. Well, today I thought today, with that being said, we would talk about something I read in the newspaper, of course, the Financial Times. I saw that Virgin Atlantic had a flight Tuesday of this week that flew on cooking oil, like Crisco, so to speak. With all the new technology, they think a lot of planes over the next 5 years are going to be able to fly with that, and it's cleaner. They said for the environment. No,
not possible.
Not cleaner for the environment.
No, there's not enough. There's not enough.
There's not enough Arby's.
Agricultural, not enough agricultural product on the planet to service large quantities of jets.
All right. So then Virgin did it as a stunt
thing. They did it as
and the UN and the UN is building down because a cow farts, and they don't want that because that destroys the environment. So
cow farts.
That's the big issue in Holland. Yeah,
cow farts.
Yeah.
Seriously?
In
cow
Norway.
farts.
Yeah.
Cow
so
farts.
What are you doing with? What are you going to do then if your cow can't fart? What is it supposed to do?
Well,
a matter
there
of
are.
fact,
I mean,
in Norway, they have found a way that the cows, they give them what you call it, you know, in the sea,
The
with
seaweed. Yeah.
seaweeds,
Okay, they give
and
it
Yeah.
they are
seaweed.
farting less. So I'm trying
All
to
Yeah.
get some seaweed myself, but
right. I eat the dry seaweed. The dry seaweed is very good. I like the dry seaweed. So, but all
Yeah,
right. So Dave,
farting's a big issue, a really big issue.
yeah,
well, for people or
For,
for cows?
well, certainly here in Holland, one of the largest sort of, collection of cows, per square meter. I mean, it's so
Yeah.
incredibly, yeah, how should we say? I think there's probably more people who live on a square meter here than they do in Tokyo or something. It's a
Okay.
crazy place. So so there's a phenomenal amount of cows, and they produce phenomenal amount of greenhouse gases.
Wow.
yeah.
And so there's a big push towards stopping all of that. But of course, one of the issues that the farmers have here is that there's nobody, a lot of family farms, the kids don't want to do it, or a lot of
Right.
farmers don't have
Yeah.
anybody to follow up. So what happens,
But
And
wait, let's go
then
back to the cow farting. How? So they give you cow seaweed, and that helps
Yeah.
the cow not fart.
Well, it's still
they,
fast.
they are
It,
yeah, it's better, I think.
Okay.
yeah, it
That's interesting.
reduces the output.
So David's a buzzkill. So the Virgin Atlantic flight that was on cooking oil or vegetable oil is really
Yeah.
a scam, and it can't be done on a global scale. So that was a publicity
No.
stunt. So we can move that
Yeah.
aside. Okay.
Yeah. Well,
So then we have,
No,
I said,
no. I just want to say that it is a wonderful feeling. Yeah, they don't do it now in my town, but they did. One company drove around to get the fried oil,
right,
from
Yeah.
chips, fries,
right, right.
French, and it was wonderful. Everybody wanted to be in the back of these lorries,
Right.
because wow, what a beautiful smell.
Yeah.
It
Coming out-
was
coming-
McDonald's
Yeah.
all the way.
Yeah, it's coming out of the exhaust, because you don't have this. You don't have the burning of the carbons.
That's cool.
But I think
Those-
I think it's a publicity stunt. For Virgin, we did touch on this before on the Funny Ha Ha show. I just think it's actually probably sponsored by one of the large, chicken manufacturing companies, or Mickey D's.
Oh no, there's a real
or-
company in the article. There's a company that's called Total Something, and their whole thing is they repurpose the waste from chips or French fries or fried chicken.
Well, I mean, you can
and that's
imagine
what they do.
flying your aeroplane in over deprived areas where people are on a low income. It just wants to force them, not just send them all crazy. They'll all rush out to, to go to the nearest burger bar. I mean, it's a
How low do you think
conspiracy.
these planes are flying? Is it
Oh,
36,000
well,
feet? It's like 3-4 miles, 5 miles in the air. You're not going to smell it
Doesn't
5
make-
miles in the air.
Doesn't make any difference, because they're still burning carbons as well. So it's
All right.
it's minimal. They think it's absolutely minimal effect it'll
Okay.
have, because they've been trying to go to synthetic kerosene anyway, aviation fuel.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But but they say that even all the waste that we have, even if we planted corn fields over the whole planet, you could not have enough that gets
Oh, wow.
burnt on a daily basis by
Very good.
airplanes.
I didn't know that. So it was a publicity stunt. I got to fly Virgin now. I'm flying in February on Virgin, and now that I know it's a publicity stunt, I may just have to go to another airline because it's only Virgin.
Yeah.
So. I like the name.
But
I always get excited.
It's a nice thought, But as David says, it's also they also in the petrol and the diesel in Norway, they use oil, you know, from plants
Right.
to
Palm oil.
you know, yeah.
Right.
And that's not good. Come on, we have people suffering all over the world, and they can survive on this. Instead, we were supposed to drive it away,
Right.
kind of.
Yeah.
So there's some dilemmas here. I think it's much better with clean petrol or diesel.
Yeah, but how
I mean,
about we do
palm-
hydrogen? Because I want another Hindenburg personally, because I think that'd be awesome. Or we do solar. Like, why can't we figure out how to make cars and airplanes run with solar panels? Because the
we
sun,
can.
I don't no, the sun is free, and I understand that no one makes money that way. But just think of, if you're so worried about the environment, get rid of these electric cars, because that's a bunch of bullshit. Because you have to dig up lithium and all this other crap. You can't get rid of the batteries. If you're worried about the world, stop with like, I need to make $1 trillion. Put solar panels, because there's technologies out there. Fly your planes with solar. Drive your cars with solar. Everything should be solar. Or look at Nikola Tesla's plans, where he was going to do free energy, the tower he built in New Jersey, and they realized they can't make money with it, and do that, or what the Egyptians did with free energy. So there's ways to do it. It's just that, as Michael Douglas said in Wall Street, greed is good. And the problem is that corporate everywhere, not just America, is greedy. They all want to be the first trillionaire. They all want to be whatever comes after a trillionaire. And the problem is everybody does a lot of talking, and that includes Mr. Musk and all his bullshit. And nobody really gives a shit, because you know why? We're all going to die. And they don't care. They just want to have the most toys in their 100-year plus lifespan, because they can go look at my toys. And they die, and they don't really give a crap what they're leaving for anybody else. That's my opinion. I could be right. I mean, wrong, sorry. But that's how I truly feel. I think
you're right.
I'm more right. I think that nobody cares.
Well, you're sounding very right wing at the moment, Steve. But
I'm
what,
going to be left next.
one of the biggest solar's great. Solar's absolutely great. Problem,
Right.
batteries. Whoever solves the battery problem will be a trillionaire.
Okay.
But that's not going to come from the oil companies, because
No.
turkeys don't vote for Christmas or for
Right.
Thanksgiving in the US. So that's not going to happen. And and going back to palm and palm oil, incredibly polluting product. It's everywhere. It's in virtually everything. It's from everything from margarine to shampoo. It's an incredibly versatile product, and it's devastating the planet. So an alternative to palm oil. So we'll plant something else. So thus we go around in circles.
Right. I just
I
just think it's funny that all these governments and all these billionaires talk about this, and this, but they do nothing to help. We'll go take Tesla. And I think Tesla, first of all, the biggest piece of shit car company in the world. I just saw the reviews on the Cybertruck. It looks like crap. It's disjointed. It's like just a big piece of junk. This is my opinion. The problem is that all these guys talk out of their ass, like I said earlier. They all want to help. They just want to become a trillionaire. They don't give a shit about the planet. And if Elon can really populate Mars, he wants Mars to be called Musk instead, right? It's going to be what he thinks he's Columbus or Magellan, and he's not. And the problem is that now people have too much money, and they don't know what to do with it. So what do you do with it? Because you've conquered this planet. Let's go to another planet. Let's go do the next. So no one's really saying, how do we make this a utopia so everybody can live? They're saying, how do I now become richer than I already am and screw everybody else? And that's literally every billionaire. And I don't care what they say, because I've never seen one that does anything.
This is the reason why they're going to space, because there's no agreement for what's happening in space. It's a free for all.
Well, technically there is.
No,
there's agreements. There's space agreements and whatnot.
In the 1960s, I think, was the last time that anybody put one together. And the current point of view is by 2030, 2035, there'll be so many satellites up there floating around.
They will be crashing.
It'd be impossible to get through them to go anywhere. But it's just madness.
It's
Absolute
bad.
madness.
It's not.
Send
you
me
know,
to the moon.
fly me to the moon. Yeah, right.
Fly me to the moon. But I have this a flight radar on my iPhone, and
Right.
I read the other day in the newspaper. They might be lying, but I never saw in Europe.
They lie here.
There never been more planes in the air.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we are in the green grass thing. It's come on. It's only a word, and we are not more green than green grass in the TV series.
Aviation industry certainly in Europe since COVID, it's gone absolutely ballistic. It's busier than ever.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason why they can't put more, there are three reasons why they can't put more aeroplanes into the air. The first is they don't have enough technicians to build the aeroplanes, so they can't buy them in order to fly them.
Right.
Secondly, the airports themselves struggle with the security aspect of it and personnel to get you through the checkout. And once they got you through the checkout, there's not enough baggage handlers to get your baggage onto the plane. So that's the big bottleneck at the moment. But people just flying everywhere.
Going somewhere, and in Norway, we very often, at least from Bergen, we have a pre-landing, middle landing in what I call shithole, Schiphol, or whatever you call it.
Schiphol, yeah. Schiphol.
Yeah. And there you're going to, you have to show your passport 3 or 4 times. It's enormous. It's too big. It's too for us Norwegian. Come on, we just say hello, hi. We know each other. We are only 14 people in this country. So but it's crazy with all the controls. It's going to be tougher and tougher to take plane, and at least in the real large plane stations. That's
airports. Yeah.
No, it's just
all our problems are solved as regards to airports because the Saudis are going to buy them all up. They're just taking a 10% share in Heathrow. Diversification. First sport and now utilities. Hey, happy days.
well, when oil is going to run out at some point, you got to diversify your portfolio. So the Saudis, Qatar, UAE, Oman, all of them, Bahrain, they all have trillions of dollars, and they realize at some point oil isn't going to produce something for them. So
got to spend it. Oh, there you go. He's gone.
And there you go.
You're in the middle.
It's like those 3 cup game, isn't it? Like it disappears.
What we like to do is we like to keep things interesting and switch it up. So it works really well. This is because StreamYard, who we use to do this, has gotten so popular that their pipes aren't big enough. So things happen, and we'll talk to them about it. And StreamYard's like, no, it's not us, it's you. So we ran all the tests, and we're like, no, it's you. And then StreamYard just looks at us like we're idiots. And we're like, yeah, we have a clue. We know what we're doing. But it's a good service. It's just that,
Yeah, they are victims of their own success.
Of their own success. Yep.
Yeah. A bit like us, really.
That's true. We're victims of our own success. But going back to the Saudis and everyone in the Middle East, we go there for business, and they're always like, they like U.S. companies. They like companies outside of the region because they realize they have to. In fact, I know at the climate summit going on right now, or the oil summit, UAE is trying to make deals selling oil with everybody, and the leaked memo came out. It was in the FT on Monday.
Not trying to make deals. They've like the guy's got he's got his this is the climate agenda. These are all the times that are booked, and this is my other agenda when people can come and talk to me about oil and gas.
There you go. And you know what's really funny? I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, the thing is, that everybody's shocked. I think, what,
Yeah.
really? I mean, if you had half the world coming to you for whatever reason,
Yep.
even if you're just selling hot dogs, somebody would be there making an extra buck on what's already happening.
I give you world news,
Sure.
and
from
that
Berlin.
is I've seen what a Romanian car driven on water. The only thing you need to have
Hydrogen.
is now 1.5
No,
liter or
H2O.
so with the Coca-Cola is the best for they say, and there are still people driving on this. The engine sounds like it's obviously not good for the engine, but there's a Romanian. I don't know him personally, but I know people who knows him. He started up a company, and they were bought up by a Netherlands company, who again were put a lid on this because the oil companies would be. And that's also something.
Can we get him on the show? Since you have people that know him, would he come on the show and talk about his cars?
I know about. I don't know him, but I know people in the same village.
If he wants to come on, I would love for him to come on and talk about that.
Yeah,
I would love to slam stuff in their face.
He's probably he's afraid.
Why is he afraid?
He can't talk about it. Well,
why not?
I mean, of the big oil companies, and
when people say things like, "Oh, it's been bought by a Dutch company," it's invariably they've been bought by Shell. If it's anything to do with energy, because Shell has like trillions of companies that buy up anything that's remotely interesting.
But why would he be scared?
He would be scared because the world economy, as we see it, Doctor, in economy, would be blasted with all the oil companies over the day. If
that's fine.
We knew that.
But that's here. I'll tell you what else. To your point, 20 or 30 years ago, 60 Minutes did a story. There was a guy who converted his car to run on water.
Yep.
And he would run around on water, and he had another car that was on this cooking oil, like the French fry oil. And he got a visit from the EPA. He got a visit from another government agency. And like the third visit from another agency, they confiscated the cars because they said, well, you can't do this. And he's like, well, why can't I? It doesn't violate any laws. It's safe. And he go, well, you can't. So they took his cars, but this is back when they had video cameras. So he had video of everything working. And he called 60 Minutes. They came out and did a segment on it. And they went to each government agency, and no government agency could say why this was bad. So let's not kid ourselves. So if he wants to come on, that would be awesome. But oil companies have politicians in their pocket and vice versa. That's what I said. The climate change, the UN, is all just a bunch of bullshit. It's an illusion to make the common man feel like the government's doing nothing. That's it. Full stop. No one's doing anything. It's nice that they talk a good game or whatever. But if you have a car that can run on solar, like if I develop tomorrow a car that I have solar panels on, I've solved the storage thing, and my solar car can run 24/7 and doesn't need anything but a little bit of light, right? Or even the moonlight, if you will. And it runs, I will bet you within 30 days, whatever government agency will take the car and take the technology, go, oh, no, that's no good. Why is it no good? Because no one's making money.
They had one.
You will be in a hospital very soon.
Yeah, I'm sure.
They had one here in Holland, a Dutch company called Lightyear. It's now strangely gone bust. And they were making this stuff was integrated in the roofs of the car. And I think that the technology has been bought up by BMW, I think, or by Mercedes going forward. But from one day to the next, everything was great. They kept winning prizes for doing this, doing that. This thing went like forever and ever, amen. Because if you watch some of the development of solar technology on cars, there's a competition every year. I think they haven't been last one. I think it was in Australia. and the Dutch University in Delft, in Eindhoven, I think, they keep winning this every year because they've got it down to running these cars on sunlight. And millions got poured into this company, and they were getting to the stage where they were actually producing cars. Unfortunately, the cars were costing €250,000 each, which was kind of not like the sort of thing that the normal guy could buy. But yeah, and then from all of a sudden, from everything being lots of hallelujah, it was all they've gone bust.
Yeah,
and the technology's gone somewhere.
Yep. Right. Well, it's no different than, look, it's Nikola Tesla. He died, and one of the neighbors said the FBI came like 10 minutes after the guy died, cleaned out his whole house and took all his papers. So it's no different now if I have a technology, and especially with YouTube and social media, that if I promote my solar car that can run forever and I don't need to do anything other than whatever, trust me when I tell you, whether it's an oil company or whether it's this or whether it's that, they will be at your doorstep, either offering you money, or to Morton's point, you'll be in the hospital because, you had an accident. And that's what's really, people don't get. I think they really think that their governments help them. I think they really think companies really care. Companies don't give a rat's ass about the people. They only care about the stakeholders and the share price. And I like that because I'm a shareholder. But on the other hand of it, it's like, and they don't care about, like when they go, oh, my grandchildren, they don't give a shit about their grandchildren. They care with them when they're there playing. They care when they retire. But when you're in charge of a billion or $1 trillion company, you care about your children or your 500,000 employees. Your relatives are your stakeholders, your shareholders, your board members. That's what they care about. So when they get on television and the FT sends out this ridiculous, stupid surveys, every company will go, what do you think of these company with ESG and environmental? And I'm like, it's all bullshit. They don't give a shit, because if they did, everything with all this technology we have would be so much far in advance that we wouldn't be sitting here worrying about the ozone layer, that, the temperature went up to 1.5 Celsius, where it's the tipping point we've passed. If we really worried about it, they would be doing something. What they worry about is their profits. They worry about how big of a house they can buy, and they don't really worry about 20 years or 100 years, because most of them will be dead in 100 years. And that goes for Mr. Musk and the rest of these guys. They don't really care. They just think they want to make a name for themselves today. So 500 years from now, like a Columbus or a Magellan or a Zhao from China who's just traveled the world, or Ivan the Terrible, so to speak, that traveled, and Genghis Khan. They want people to say, oh, so-and-so did this back in, 2023. They don't give a crap about anything past that. They just want to have a monument to themselves, and that's it. Where I think back in the day when these guys were doing it, I don't think they thought about people are going to talk about them in 500 years. Today, everybody's worried about that.
Why don't they do as Julius Caesar to build something? It's not enough any longer, because there are so many great buildings and stuff, but before, many thousand years ago, then they builded things. Now they wanted to, it's a new arena, and and I also have to say that I don't believe a word of innovation, because innovation is what this is funny. I don't know what tire company who is making them, but they have begun, since we had square wheels in back in the days. Now a new manufacturer, it's not completely square, but they have squared the tires, because it gives a good jump. And it's cheaper to ride. So I don't remember the manufacturer, but I'm sure. And if you're small, you will be stopped. If you're selling your idea at once to a really big company like Shell or whatever, then they might have a chance to do it, but they won't destroy.
They won't do it. They'll just shelve it. They shelve this
Yeah.
stuff. I worked with a guy who came up with a technology that for an oil spill, it was almost like baking soda. You would drop the baking soda into the oil spill, and it would eat the oil spill up. And
Yeah.
I remember, I won't mention the company. There are two companies that came to buy his company, and we were handling the deal. And when they bought the company, and the NDA that he had to sign was like, you can never speak about this and yada yada yada. But they
Yeah.
bought
Yeah.
it, and they've never used it ever since. When there's an oil spill, they don't use it. And I literally was like to the company, why? And they said, well, because we don't make money that way. So the point is, if you have a technology that's going to put them out of business or not help them charge someone trillions of dollars, then they don't like that. So it's the same with the guy whose
Yeah.
car ran on water. It's the same who runs on
Yeah.
Coca-Cola, which to
Yeah.
me, if I was
Yeah.
Coca-Cola, I'd want that car everywhere. The same with a car that runs on cooking oil. And it's going to be the same with the
Yeah.
guy like your Lightspeed company that came out in the Netherlands, who ran on solar. And I don't care if the car costs $1 or 250,000,
It will
but
cost
they
much
put,
less when
Yeah.
when you
Correct.
you know.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
But
and
there's also one more thing, and that
Sure.
is irritating, because in the old days, I always, when I changed my window on screen on the car, I
Right.
always took this. They can take just a zip, and it will clean the window
the wipers.
wipers. Yes.
Right.
And now I asked my dealer, and he said it's illegal even to do this in your private, because a big company bought this this patent, and it's now down in the third basement, hidden in but it would help people.
Yeah.
It could save lives.
Yeah, but they don't care about
As
that.
you say,
You can't
they
make
don't.
money.
They want to sell the screeners, the Bosch and the all of them.
Just think if you had
Well,
a
here's,
flat.
here's,
I will
here's an
say, let me just
interesting
say,
fact for you. Do
Go ahead.
you guys know what the largest, who makes the most amount of car tires on the planet? Automobile tires, car tires.
Michelin, Firestone,
Lego.
Lego, really?
Lego.
For
Yeah.
their toys.
Yeah.
For the little toys.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I love Lego. I have nothing bad to say about Lego. I think Lego is great. They should be a sponsor. I'll build a Lego model anytime they want. I love
Yeah,
Lego.
I've got quite a Lego fan here in the house. We've got Lego
And in
plants
that-
around the house.
And the name Lego, you know where it come from?
No. Tell us.
No, in Danish, we Norwegian, we know a bit Swedish and Danish. Ole got,
Right.
and that is play good
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay.
Play
in
good.
in Danish.
Yeah.
So
Right.
play good is Lego.
Wow. I
And
will
they
tell you
didn't
that
actually they didn't actually invent it. They actually ended up paying for it. I think in the 70s, right? They
Yeah.
actually paid the British company off who invented it. And
it's kind of like Microsoft didn't
so-
invent Word either. They paid IBM 50 grand for the
Yeah,
program. It's the same thing.
But
It's
think
okay.
about Lego. I mean, people use Lego because they're stressed all the time.
Yeah.
You know, and I thought would be being stressed would be an interesting little bridge to an item which I found this morning, which made me laugh.
Oh my God.
This is about a particular incident in the US of A. So I'm going to get that up so we can have a look at it.
Sure.
So here we go.
Wow.
Swimmer caught masturbating and vibrating on the beach gives brazen excuse to police.
Yeah.
Oh my God. What was her brazen excuse to the police, Mr. David?
Well, she said she was caught relaxing a little bit too hard, it would seem, and her excuse was because wait for it.
I'm waiting for it.
She was just a bit stressed out.
Body cam officers with fish. So
Oh.
you had a vibrator. To which she replies, "Listen, I was sitting on the towel like this." She said, "I was lying down to something for the incident, and then I just pulled it in. I covered up, and I had an orgasm." She said, "I'm sorry, I was just stressed out." Wow. And she could face a 12-month jail sentence for 20 seconds of self gratification. Well, that'll teach you that from now on, your gratification has to be more than 20 seconds. And there you go.
No,
That is awesome.
no. I think the moral of this story is she should take up Lego if she's all stressed out. You know,
Yeah,
that's
she should.
you know. So yeah, beachgoers could hear her mourning. I thought that would help us all deal with our own stress issues in life.
So she gets arrested for having an orgasm. Wow. And you know what? That's, every married man now is going to tell his wife, honey, you can't have an orgasm because you could get arrested.
And I suppose now everybody's going to go down to Tri Beach Island in Georgia to see if there's anybody else moaning and groaning on the beach, because that seems to be the place to go. So,
holy moly!
Wait, but here's my question: if you were that stressed out, first of all, you had to go there with the notion that you were going to do this, right? Because you brought your toy to the beach. Why wouldn't you just masturbate, if you will, in the hotel room or in your house before you got to the beach?
Well, according to the rest of the article, which was too big, it wasn't. You know, if I put too much on this, nobody was going to read it.
Yeah.
But she said that she'd actually she was kept one in a bag, and she had it with her, so just in case.
Yeah, you never know when the urge is going to strike you, and you need to have an orgasm.
There you go.
That's pretty funny. Okay.
Yeah, but what fault did she do? Come on, it's a private thing. If no one, well, the police must have.
It would appear
a lot of things to do.
It would appear in Georgia that any form of gratification, you'll be fined for it.
So that means if you're married or you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend and you have an orgasm at a hotel, the police can come arrest you. So people in Georgia, that's in the United States, not Georgia, the country in Eastern Europe. If you're in Georgia in the United States, don't have orgasms. So, and a lot of men are going to be like, they've been telling their wives for years, see, this is why you don't have an orgasm. So I think we've done a community service for the people here in the United States and the state of Georgia. There you go. This is awesome.
I thought actually we needed that in the show today, because I was getting a bit stressed out about all the politics and
what are you doing? Come on,
David,
and everything.
Do we have to end the show now?
No. I was a bit stressed out this morning trying to get all this stuff all loaded and everything, and I stumbled upon this particular lady who was also a bit stressed out, only she was dealing with it in a slightly different way. It's not as if I'm sitting here with a butt plug in or anything, but what can I say?
Stephen, I told you I was stressed out yesterday. I was
there you go. You know what to do now, Morton.
I was passing a mountain and I got this intuition. There's a little shop far away from everything and everywhere. I'm going to buy some, and I didn't buy for a long time, but I want to buy some state lotteries.
In Norway.
Lotto or whatever.
Lottery tickets, right. We understand.
Yeah. I went into this small shop, and there were only 150 inhabitants in this little place, and I said,
by Norwegian standards.
Yeah, it is, because we're only 16. Yeah, so there are 10 times more. But I was asking, I didn't buy one of these lottery things for a long time. May I buy just without showing my driver license or my card or whatever? And then it began a hell of a time, because we tried in and out. Yes, it took an hour, and then I had to call Oslo
Wow.
And in Oslo, a lady could tell me that, well, we have closed your account because you're not using the card or you're not
ID.
gambling enough.
I love it. You're not gambling enough, so the government's closed down your gambling account. You gotta love that.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's lovely.
Yeah.
So she was kind enough to open it, and
Right.
now I will be a trillionaire, of course.
Oh, congratulations. But you know
Yeah.
what's funny? The whole story. I mean, I'm glad she reopened it, but I'm just happy you got somebody on the phone. In America, if you call a government agency to get somebody on the phone, we'd be sitting on the phone for like 6 years. You called someone in Oslo,
Yeah.
which is the government, and you got somebody on the phone in 2 minutes. That's impressive.
No, not 2
No.
minutes, half
Okay.
an hour.
Oh, a half hour. Okay, well, at least you got somebody on the
Half an
phone,
hour.
so that's good.
Yeah.
That's impressive. That's
Yeah.
impressive. I love it.
I just thought it was funny, because
That is.
why are they cutting you out if you're not a heavy player?
Right.
Is that a good
Well,
sign?
I think it may be something to do with GDPR, because after a certain point in time, if you don't use your account, you would have probably received an email to say that you had to confirm that it's still you, etc., etc. And if you think it's spam or you don't adhere to that, then they have to. I think they can only keep your data for a year with permission, and after that, they have to remove it. So I think that's a privacy issue.
Yeah, the GDPR that
Okay.
David's speaking about for the people in
And-
America
and-
is privacy, right?
Yeah,
and the other
yeah,
thing,
yeah.
Yeah, and the other thing, of course, Morten and I had actually spoken to the Norwegian gambling commission and said, don't let that man get rich because we'll never have him back on the show again.
That's right. So we're keeping you down.
Keep him-
The man's keeping you down
him-
for the show.
Keep him
I
poor.
tell you,
So he'll come back every
I've
week.
been rich. I've been rich. I've been wealthy, snubbly rich, and
Right.
it was nothing for me because I gambled the money
You
and
spent it.
I spent it, and I don't regret it. You can't regret things in life.
Yeah,
You've
I
been there, done that.
Yeah.
Move on.
Yeah.
Like the Romanian
Been
says,
there.
the time is not going; it's coming.
Correct.
That's right.
Very
Been
true.
there.
And on that
done
note,
that,
gentlemen, we're going to leave the
broke
show.
the mug and wore the shirt.
Yep. So time is not coming, but it's going. And gentlemen, it's been a
Yeah.
pleasure. Everybody that's listening
No, it
around the
hasn't-
world,
it hasn't-
have a happy
hasn't really been a pleasure.
Saturday.
It's
Well,
been incredibly
calm down.
stressful, to be totally honest.
All right, well, go get your Lego or vibrator and you can play with it when the show's over. Jesus, this is what we have to deal with this every day.
And
Maybe.
buy
mean,
buy a ticket, buy a lottery today.
Sure, everyone buy a
maybe.
lottery.
Maybe there's a Lego vibrator. I don't know. We'll have to check that out for the next show. Or that might get us soon.
Wow.
Every day. Anyway,
I
this
guess
is
not.
Lego and vibrator for kids and for.
I don't think we're going to get the Lego endorsement anymore.
No,
I think we
that's
might have
gone.
lost that.
Forget that.
That's gone.
Forget that.
Anyway, don't forget to subscribe and like. We will be back next Saturday. For all our Jewish listeners, happy Hanukkah that's coming up. And for all you people that believe in that fake crap, we got a couple weeks before we have to, wish you a happy anything. And then that's it.
Happy Church of England Christmas is all I can say.
Like I said, the fake crap. Anyway, the make-believe fables that you people